Hello, I'm Charlie Gonzalez, and I'm sitting here with a very special guest, a CSUN alum and a Dodgers reporter, David Vassay. David, thank you for sitting down with me today.
Hey, Charlie, thank you for having me.
So, as I just mentioned, you graduated from CSUN. What's it like being back at your old stomping grounds?
Wow, it's a change for the better since I left here. It's grown so much, and the facilities, including where we're sitting, were not here when I was going to Cal State Northridge, but it has grown to have such a great reputation of great broadcasting and journalism. That's what it's known for. So very proud when I say CSUN as where I went to school.
How was it covering the World Series and also riding on the top of the bus during the parade through downtown?
Being able to have something that the city hasn't experienced since 1988 when the Dodgers won with Oral Hershiser back then. Obviously 2020, the pandemic, no parade, but to be part of it and to be able to share the players' emotions, that is a dream come true. And I was so happy for them because they deserved a parade in 20.
Yeah.
And I was happy there were still a lot of guys on this team that played on the 2020 Dodgers.
And speaking of the 2020 Dodgers, earlier this week you were at the Justin Turner Foundation Golf Classic, and there were some former Dodgers there, Justin Turner and Corey Seager. What was it like talking to some familiar faces from that 2020 team?
Man, Charlie, you're gonna get me emotional. It was great to see those guys. Great to see Seager, who I knew since he won the Minor League Player of the Year award back in 2014, and then when he broke in 15. I've known him basically his entire professional career. So our bond didn't stop right there, when he left the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing is creating these relationships, but also nurturing the relationships, even though they're not on the Dodgers. And Justin Turner, will forever be known as a Dodger. His 9 years in LA were really special because of how much he poured into his craft on the field, but even more how much he cared about people in the city of LA. And I don't believe it's a coincidence him being from Southern California played into that.
What's a typical day of work like as a Dodgers reporter, like from when you wake up to when you go to sleep, and it can even be when you're on the road with the team?
Typical day ends at midnight. I started at 6:30 in the morning, waking up, helping the kids get dressed, getting them to school, and then from there, try to do what I need to do in life before the phone calls start coming in. I like to get to Dodger Stadium between 4.5 and 5 hours before first pitch for a World Series game. Regular season game, I get there 4 hours before because that's when players start to come out, start to work out. Great time to talk to them. Great time to get the interviews that you need. Dave Roberts does his pregame interview session. You have to be there for that. I have to record my pregame segments and record a segment with Rick Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Pregame show starts live at 6 o'clock. First pitch at 7:10. Dodger Talk starts immediately after the final out. If the Dodgers win, I'm on the field for an interview, come back up, start the show. If they lose, I stay in the booth, start the show, ends around 11:30 or midnight.
One final question. What's one thing you want to do in your career that you haven't yet done? One box that hasn't been checked.
Interview Pat Riley.
I've
never interviewed Pat Riley, who I admired so much as the head coach of the Showtime Lakers. I've never had the opportunity to interview Pat Riley. That's on my bucket list.
Thank you for being here. You taking time out of your day to when you got to go to Sportsnet LA and El Segundo, you came out here to Northridge. Much appreciated. Hello, I'm Charlie Gonzalez, and I'm sitting here with CSUN water polo athlete Dorothea Tillich. Dorothea, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Hi, Charlie. Hi, everyone.
And as we're sitting here recording this, you got the preseason honors for Big West. Congratulations.
Thank you.
3 days out from the start of the season, it's your third year. And what are some goals you've laid out for yourself and the team?
I'm very excited to start a new season. I'm especially excited about the team goals. I can't wait for our Big West games. We had some very close games where sadly we didn't come out in the right end. In my first season, we almost beat Davis, and in my second season, Santa Barbara. So I really want to have more Big West wins this season, and I think we are capable of that. And of course, I have some individual goals too, but I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. My main goal is just really to enjoy this season and water polo, because there was a time throughout my career when I kind of lost my passion towards the sport, and it was more of a job than something that brought me joy. And since I'm here, I'm gaining back this love to the sport day by day, and I really enjoy being here and playing these games.
I do think you're right that the passion's coming back, because your point total and your goal total both increased year by year, and it's going to be tough to break your own record. But I look forward to seeing it. And for those unfamiliar with water polo, talk a little bit about the center position and why you kind of chose that.
Okay, so in water polo there are 6 positions and 1 goalie, but I don't count that right now. So 3 people is in the front row and 3 in the back row. So I'm in the front row in the middle, so right in front of the cage. And I'm basically fighting for my life with the guard and trying to either create myself open space so I can get the ball, do an action shot, do an extrusion, or the other important job if like there are more defenders on me, meaning that some defender from my teammates are like zoning, coming back in front of me, then I'm just trying to push my guard really far back so our shooters have more space to come and shoot.
Okay. And as with every new season, there are new recruits and departures. We have 2 freshmen and we have 2 transfers. Talk a little bit about what they bring to the team.
I'm very excited to see these new faces in this season. We had 8 preseason games, and we could see that they're gonna add a lot of value to the team. They are very talented, and besides that, they are wonderful people. And I'm especially happy about that 2 of them are goalies, because last whole year, we only had 1 goalie, and that was very stressful because we really had to protect her from any injuries or any sickness. And it's nice that now we have more goalies we can count on, and not just 1. But yeah, as I said, they are very talented and they fit perfectly into the team. And even from those games, we have a picture how we can put them in a team and use them. So
I think it takes the weight off the shoulders of teams as well, knowing that in case anything goes wrong, you have these talented backups.
exactly.
Samantha Bright transferred from Mount St. Mary's and from New Zealand, also like you, about halfway around the world.
Yes.
What, is there anything like between you and your friend Anna and Samantha about those kind of culture shocks coming to America that you kind of bond over?
Yeah, there's a lot of culture shock. We have one more international. Kiana, she's from Zimbabwe. And we have our little inside jokes or moment when we look at each other when someone says something so American.
And you don't get it, or you just sometimes you get it.
No, we get it, but it's just funny, like how the different cultures work and how they communicate differently. So yeah, it can be funny.
And going back to game planning and preparation, what are some of the methods you use for both individually and as a team to game plan for each opponent? Do you analyze strengths and weaknesses on film?
It really depends on our week, because it's very hard to prepare for everything when we have 4 games in 2 days.
Yeah.
So we have different kind of methods we are doing both as a team, or you can do as an individual. So for like as team, we usually look back into our games and analyze our mistakes, because at the end of the day, that's the most we can learn from. but we also have films on other teams, and our coaches upload those games, or they select the important situations from those games, and they upload it to an application which we can use basically anywhere. So even if we're on the bus before game, we can just look into that and have a picture what they're playing. But also, if we don't have enough time to watch, coaches bring certain situations to the practices, and we are trying to prepare for either offense or defensive plays against our opponents. And they also always have a sheet where they have the key players, and they are briefly summarizing what are the key things they're doing, so we have an idea.
And Coach Warshaw, who you kind of alluded to just now, what is the coach-player relationship like with him, and what values does he instill in his team that make this team the heart of this team hum?
We have a really good connection, and I think he's one of the greatest person I know in this whole world. And I told him a couple of times, but I like to say it because I'm so grateful for him. He really changed my life recruiting me here, because never in my life I would have imagined that I will study and play here. It's such a good experience that I can't be grateful enough for him that he made this happen. And as I mentioned, because he's a great person, he's really trying to focus on our team culture. And as a result, we have such a positive and kind team. We don't have conflicts and dramas, which is weird, because when you put together 20 plus girls, there's usually something like going on all the time, but we're like really peaceful and we're in a really good harmony.
Yeah.
And we have like these culture meetings where we talk about what are the most valuable things in a team and how we should treat each other, and that helps a lot.
Well, yeah, Billy. Anytime there's drama in the locker room or something, it definitely gets away from the stuff that's important, kind of puts that in center. So it's great. It's great to hear that he kind of cut all that out to bring out the best in all his players.
Exactly.
Dodie, once again, thank you for coming on this.
Thank you.
And I
for
really
having
appreciate
me.
it. And good luck this season. And I look forward to you breaking your own records.
Let's hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Spencer and Eliza. Yeah, the city of Los Angeles just won another championship against New York. The LA Galaxy defeated the New York Red Bulls 2-1 for the MLS Cup final. In front of a crowd just below capacity at Dignity Health Sports Park, Joseph Paine still drew first blood in the 9th minute with an assist from Gaston Brugman. Only 4 minutes later, Dejan Joveljic in traffic found the net on an assist from Mark Delgado. In the 28th minute, Sean Nealis scored from New York's lone goal after a game of hot potato. Whoop, but hey, that's not my boy. And the Galaxy won their 6th title, most all-time in Major League Soccer. The championship celebration was held at the stadium the following day. The Lakers lost a heartbreaker in overtime on the road against the Atlanta Hawks, 134 to 132. The entire game was a back-and-forth affair. The point differential in all 4 quarters was just 3 points, with the Lakers holding the lead after the first and third. Hawks point guard Trae Young's 31 points was a team best. LeBron James' layup with 13 seconds left forced the game into overtime. James' 39 points and Anthony Davis' 38 points were the 2 highest scoring performances, but it wasn't enough to earn the win. Young's three-pointer with 8 seconds left sealed the victory. The Lakers were back at home Sunday night, though, against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Lake Show trailed early throughout the first quarter. It was the second quarter when the purple and gold pulled away, never surrendering their lead after a 7-minute mark. D'Angelo Russell scored 5 3-pointers and 28 points off the bench, second behind only Anthony Davis's 30 on the day. Final score, 107 to 98. But across town, the Clippers had a game against the Houston Rockets and didn't go so well. Both LA teams are neck and neck in the standings. Clippers point guards Bones Highland came off the bench, scoring 5 3-pointers and 22 points. Jalen Green did most of the heavy lifting for the Rockets, scoring 31 points and 8 for 8 on free throws. Houston emerged victorious 117 to 106, improving to 16 and 8 on the season. Both the Lakers and Clippers' next games are on Friday. And how about them Rams? Just up the street from the Intuit Dome where the Clippers play, the Rams defeated the Bills 44-42 in what many people are calling Game of the Year. The Rams scored on 5 of their first 6 drives, knowing they'd have to equal the Bills' offensive firepower. Matthew Stafford went 23 for 30 with 2 touchdown passes. The special teams also contributed. Jacob Humel's blocked punt was returned for a touchdown by Hunter Long. And Tom Brady said he lost his voice doing color commentary, notably on Puka Nacua's toe-drag sideline reception. Both teams committed 0 turnovers while combining for 902 yards of offense. Josh Allen became only the second player ever to have 3 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns in a single game. The first, 70 years ago, Otto Graham during the 1954 NFL Championship. Allen's career day was in vain, however, as the Bills' defeat was secured on a failed onside kick recovery. With the loss, they fall further behind the Chiefs in the race for the number 1 seed in the AFC. And speaking of which, the other LA team wasn't as lucky. On Sunday Night Football, the Chargers lost to the Chiefs 19-17 on a game-winning field goal. Justin Herbert left the game for a short while, banged up after a hit. The Chiefs' defense shut out the Chargers in the first half. Herbert returned to action in the third quarter, leading the Los Angeles Chargers on back-to-back scoring drives to take the lead. Unfortunately for them, however, the Chiefs had the ball last. That's how most games are won today. The game-winning kickoff, the left upright, has been dubbed the doink for the division as the Chiefs win the AFC West for the 9th consecutive year. On the flip side, the NFC West race is still tight, with the Rams 1 game behind Seattle. And I know that NFC West race is really heating up. Rams and 49ers play on Thursday Night Football. It's going to be a good one.